Yo, what is up, you guys? This is Sergeant Brian the Yoshi 22, and welcome to a very first video of the game that was from the PlayStation 1, known as Dino Crisis. It's another horror game, but instead of fighting zombies, you'll be fighting dinosaurs instead. And yes, it's the one where you have to survive and extract a very important person though before you end up turning into dinosaur chow in this game, because some certain dinosaurs in this game will pretty much kill you and then eat you to death, so you best want to avoid that. Now, going through this before I get into this mission, as you guys are aware, in this game though, that there are going to be 4 different endings, and I gotta pay attention to which one of these endings are, but I only know one specific one. The best ending, which we're going to focus on that one, because this is the road to the best ending, which this ending you have to do is extract the doctor and the chopper, but before you have to do that, you have to find the chopper first in the B3 level before finding Gale and Dr. Kirk. That's the best ending, and you gotta survive it too. Now, there's a chance I might die from this, but if that happens, I'll have to resume back to the part where I left off, so that way you guys won't see the part where I died. Now, in games like this, I'll show you what they are like exactly. Now, instead of doing it on easy, you guys, I will be doing it on normal, because the only guns that you'll be starting off with for normal is a pistol. A Glock 34, exactly. Later you'll get some new weapons, which I'm going to show you that later. But right now, if you guys have any comments on this video, let me know. And enjoy the Dino Crisis series. And take care, you guys. This is Sergeant Brian the Yoshi 22, coming right at you with a new game, though. And I'll be paying attention to every moment that you say something, you guys. So let's begin the best ending on the road again.
You have mail. The second report from Military Experiment Facility. Agent name, Tom.
I have successfully infiltrated under the guise of a researcher as planned. I have encountered no information regarding top-secret development of new type weapons, but I have discovered there is an unexpected individual at this facility. The man is Dr. Kirk, the leading authority of our nation's energy research. Dr. Kirk was alleged to have died in an accident during the course of an experiment 3 years ago. The reports were premature, and it appears that he is currently working as the head of a non-weapon project at this facility. The experiment is in the late stages of development. Regarding the staged accidental death, it appears that this country is somehow involved, recommending that necessary actions be taken immediately.
Refer to the data on Dr. Kirk. Operation instructions.
Approaching drop zone.
Feels like we've got a little turbulence.
Once you hit the ground, head straight to the designated convergence point. Got it?
Sorry I'm late.
Let's move out.
What about Cooper?
Forget him. Time's up.
Wait! Wait!
Okay, this is the first checkpoint. Playtime is officially over, kiddies.
Something's wrong. The lights in the guardhouse are out.
Maybe this has been a wild night of partying for the guards. You know, a little song, a little dance.
Stay here, Junior. Leave the guards to me.
Hey, did you hear what he just called me?
Forget about it. Just let Gale handle this.
All right, it's clear. Okay, let's do this. I'll infiltrate the facility and occupy the control room on the first floor. I should have access to all the security systems from there. I'll contact you as soon as I've cleared the room.
Okay, before we get down to this battle, a few things you might want to notice before we do this, okay? Unlike the second Dino Crisis 2 game, in this game, there's going to be some different, different things you're going to need understanding. As you guys are aware of, though, there are going to be some danger events in this game, though. And the only way to survive this, though, is you have to make sure you tap as much of the buttons to avoid dying to enemies, though, because they will do that. Another thing, that if you're going to survive out there, you have to be very careful. You never know what we're expecting to deal with out there. I'll be expecting all the items, and I will do as much as I can to avoid death, though, because some of those danger events will kill you instantly if you're not careful, which I will do all the danger events in this game as long as I don't lose track of them. In certain ways, there's going to be 4 different type of items that you'll need to do to make some darts and some medical items that you're going to need against the dinosaurs around here. Especially the part when the dinosaurs will make you bleed and make you lose health, so you got to be careful. Okay? So, going things on. Right here, if you guys don't know about this game, here are the loadouts you have. The items right here, which you guys can see, I only started off with a pistol with only 17 rounds and a hemostat med pack. This type of ammo is not that powerful, but it will be. But you'll see some new improvement ammo later. The next one we have is a hemostat. As you guys can see, they're only used to cover up the bleeding in case you're in trouble. So be very careful. Besides, the more you bleed out, the longer you'll lose some health. So you better be careful. Because certain dinosaurs in this game, like those velociraptors you'll be fighting, they'll tend to make you bleed out, so be careful. Now there are different type of med packs, like med pack small, medium, and large. The small ones only heal you up in a small amount of health. Medium ones can help heal you recover your health to fully, but it will not cover the bleeding. A Medpack L will cover up not only the bleeding on you, but it will recover your vitality, so be very careful. So right now, that's not the only thing, because now, like here, we have a starting pistol right here. That's a Glock 34, as you can see. And then we have the map right here, which that shows around the area. And the mixing parts, though, which you'll soon need to realize how to mix things, though, with med packs and other medical items or darts that you'll need. Which I will show you guys what the darts are all about if you guys are new to this game. Okay? So right now, I'm gonna unplug my headset so you guys don't hear me interrupt the talking over the cutscene. Okay?
Rick can handle the inside of the facility on his own.
Let me guess. This is some of your handiwork, right?
The brass is still warm. These guards were shooting at something very recently.
So who were they fighting?
This wasn't much of a fight. I don't think these guards hit anything before getting sliced and diced. Whatever they were shooting at came in through there, ripped right through the steel fence.
Well, the hole is nice and clean. But I still say you could have done this.
Very funny. Still need to figure out what happened here. Continue to sweep the area.
Also, one more thing to point out. I will do my best to kill all the dinosaurs before leaving the area. I'm almost like Turkish bullets, though, on YouTube, though, when I tend to want to kill everything in sight. Though, that's what you'll see exactly. Okay? There are plenty of things that you want to examine before taking a look before moving on. So first things first, I'm gonna move this crate because there's an item right here. Contains a hemostat, which we are gonna need that later. Just in case, though. That leads to the backup generator room, the B1 level, but unfortunately we can't come. We'll come back here later, but we can't come through here yet. Now we're going to enter the material storage. There's two things we're going to grab in here. One is going to be a resuscitation kit, which is used to help bring you back to life in case you're dead, so you don't waste up the lives on you. And yes, in this game you have lives, so if you run out of lives, it's game over. So be careful. But this resuscitation kit is not only bringing you back alive. If you do have an Andart triple plus, well, Andart 2 large triple plus, you can combine it to make a poison dart, which poison darts are going to be needed later for a later occasion. You'll see. And then we're going to need to pick up this backup generator key, because we're going to be heading out to the backup generator.
How's the progress going with that security system?
I don't know what's been going on here, but it looks like all the power in this facility's been cut.
Same here.
As long as that's the situation, there's not a lot I can do. Why don't you see if you can gain access to the backup generators on the ground level?
I'm on it. What are you doing here?
I caught the last part of your conversation.
By the way, I found a key.
Hand it over. Let's head outside.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to get the key up to Gale, because he's heading out to the backup generator.
When you're done with that live stream, what do you want to do? SCP roleplay? SCP roleplay Area 47? Or Fortnite/Minecraft?
We could do, well, we have been playing SCP so much. I think it's best we do a Fortnite Minecraft version. Anyway, continuing on before we do this.
The funny thing is, I'm already on SCP 47.
Wow. Okay, as I was saying,
I'm gonna see if I can be the administrator this time.
Okay. Now, as I was saying, guys, before Cyber came into my lobby, we can't go this way because that leads to the large freight elevator. We'll come back later to do this, though. But then, still, you'll see what we're going to be dealing with there. This way leads to the elevator, which we're going to need if we're going to activate the power to the facility where Rick is going. Alright, so let's see. Are you still here, there, Cyber? Oh, I'm just asking if you're still here. Oh, God.
That's disgusting.
This guy's been eviscerated. Something tore his intestines straight out.
Look at those tooth marks. It had to be some sort of animal.
Okay, let's move on.
Alright. What is this guy holding? A medium med pack. Okay, we might need that. I'm not going to combine these yet, but I'll come back to that later.
I'll stand guard here. You go inside and take a look around.
Yeah, I'll leave Gale to watch this area. Alright, the backup generator room, first floor. We should be able to get the power activated to this island as long as we activate the backup generator. What do we have here? Some sort of puzzle? Red, blue, green, white. Those must be the levers, though, that controls the power for this place. Oh. Let's see if we can get to work. So this is always going to stay the same like this for every backup generator you go to, like backup generator first floor, backup generator B1, and backup generator B3. Okay, so let's see. Hit the right one. Center again, or center just once, and then right one more time. And then there's no point of doing this. And with all said, we get the power back on. Lovely.
Gale?
Oh yeah, guys, we're gonna have a first encounter with our first dinosaur we're going up against. The Velociraptor. I guess I only have 17 rounds, but who knows?
Gale! What is this?
Alright, now we've got an encounter with a Velociraptor. I'm just gonna keep circling around him to avoid. Ow. Okay, you just gotta remember though. Okay, that was annoying to start off with, but I tried to not get grappled by that thing, and now that I kind of forgot, those things can make you bleed. Grapples, pounce, that kind of thing, that can hurt. But anyway, that was your first encounter with a Velociraptor. I mean, using a pistol is suicide. I could just run though, but I might do that later on the next ending. I'll show you the reason. But anyway. Now that Raptor's out of the way, we can finally get back out of here before things do not go as planned.
Good news. I got the control system back online. What's the situation over there?
It's Gale. I lost him.
So what's the bad news? Did you run into some guards?
You're not gonna believe this. He was attacked by some kind of dinosaur.
That's a good one. So, who was it? Arnie?
This isn't a joke, you idiot. We were just attacked by a big-ass lizard.
For real? What's going on over there? Alright. Head over to the control room and we'll sort out this whole situation.
I also forgot to point out that Raptor I fight off, he got playing moves to hurt you, like hitting you with their heads, biting you, grappling you, pouncing you, that kind of stuff. But he can also whack you with his tail, and there's a chance he might make you drop your weapon, so you gotta be careful. So anyway, there's nothing we could do for the backup generator for now, since I'm not gonna go back there and face that Raptor since it's dead. But we'll have to come back outside later. Anyway, we're going to go through the office hallway. And yes, we have another Raptor out there, but this is going to be later because you'll have to do the danger event with that thing. That leads into the office, but it's locked from the other side. We'll have to come back later. And right here, there's a ventilation opening right here. We can use that to climb up there. And then we're going to climb down this vent. This is the quickest way to the control room. Before we go into the control room, there's another things we gotta point out. First, we're gonna grab these bullets from my Glock 34. And then right here is one of those emergency boxes. They only require plugs, though, later. 1, 2, or 3 plugs. There's gonna be 3 different colors. The green ones, the red ones, and the yellow ones. The green ones hold medical items. The red ones hold ammo. And the yellow one hold miscellaneous items that you're gonna need later, which we'll get to that part later. Anyway, there's that stairway leads down to B1, but we can't go down there because Rick doesn't have the access codes for that shutter, because that's where we're gonna go see him.
What's our status?
This security system is a snap for me. Real amateur stuff. So, what exactly happened to Gale? You said that he was attacked by a dinosaur?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just hope he's still alive. Anyway, our first priority is to complete the mission.
What we ought to do is just call in the chopper and get off this death trap.
That's a great idea, but Cooper has the radio, and he's missing. Hey, what's with this monitor?
That's the security monitor for the underground area. The camera's offline.
So I take it that means power still hasn't been restored to the area.
Exactly. They must have that area wired to a different power system than the ground level.
We can investigate that area after we finished our sweep of the ground level.
Okay, then I'll take care of the shutters that are blocking the way. You work your way in, grab the dock, and then rendezvous back here.
Alright, since Gale is out for now, I know we're gonna see him again soon.
What's the
But
deal
right
with this
now,
place anyway?
it's only gonna be me and Rick doing this together until we find Dr. Kirk. Anyway, the computers over there on the left side of that screen leads to the B1 level, and right now he's doing everything to the codes for the shutters. This elevator leads up to the communications room, which we will come back later for that. Right now, we can't go there yet.
Yeah. Now, what I want to know is where those things are coming from.
Alright, we're gonna get to work. Heading into this management office. This is one of the save points in this game, which we will do that. Right here, we get a new weapon. The shotgun, also known as the pump-action shotgun by El Franchi. But there, so this thing doesn't have ammo, but we will get that soon. And over here, in every game, it's going to require both these things. A DDK input and code disk, which you're going to need to access any DDK doors that require this code. Which I know all the codes though, and I have it in my notes. That's why I'm going to be needing it to figure out what I got to do. And there's not that. There is one thing. As you can see, these are the plugs you're going to need to access the emergency boxes throughout this facility. I have a notes to where all the plugs are. I just got to make sure I don't miss them. And another thing that we have to do, before we go in that room, hit this switch to power up the computer. And then it will show you the details of all the DDK input and code disks on it. Oh god, that's just messed up.
Oh shit, heist!
Anyway, this guy dropped this here panel key, which it does have numbers on it though, but that's gonna wait till later. He's been gorged in the torso. There's a safe over here, but we'll come back for that later. But right now, I don't want to take my risk and just open it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I do have the code on my phone, but I want to wait for that later. So first things first, we're going to save right here. And then we're going to get ready to find another raptor, but we got something to help us out with that.
Regina, I took care of the shutter. You should be able to access the control panel now.
Already? That was quick. Thanks.
Hey girl, just get going.
Alright, first things first, we need to turn this off and then first get his attention. Yeah, and be careful because that thing will pounce you and try to rip you apart. But these shutters are well helpful against these things. I guess I want to take my time. Don't want to waste up the bullets on this thing. Yeah, these things it takes a lot of bullets to kill this thing, though, with a pistol. Believe me, on normal difficulty, it takes a while. Alright, this thing's dead. Good. At least I don't have to worry about this thing pouncing on me. Oh, so don't worry about the shutters, you guys. You won't be able to take any damage from the zapping. You'll be fine. This one we can't access because Rick doesn't have the other set of codes for that one, but we'll come back later for that. The door on the right there leads to the bathrooms, but we're not going to go there yet because there's probably pretty much nothing there. But that door all the way straight ahead is the one we're going to have to go to later. At least to the strategy room. But anyway, inside the locker room we go. Because there's a few things we're going to grab in here. One is a DDK code disc right here. Which has the H on it. An item right here. And if you don't kill that raptor out there at the hallways, he will pretty much break through the door and pretty much destroy the table, getting you cornered. Now these right here are very necessary. These are called darts. And they do have 4 different variants. Like I said, one of them is poison, but then there's small, medium, and large. These darts can put a dinosaur to sleep. Which these are important if you want to make poison darts. But I'm not gonna use them now because I need something with a little bit more kick to it. Anyway, right here is the Journal of the Guardsman, right here, which he has information on that safe in the management office. Okay, as you see, that was the code 0426. That's what we need to access that safe. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the management office and put in the code. Anyway, there's 2 items. An entrance key, which we can use that to open up the main entrance, and another resuscitation kit we're going to need in order to stay alive. We'll come back to life without using up a 1-up. Alright. I'm gonna save again, just in case. And then we're gonna take the door to the right where the shutters were. That will lead out to the main entrance. Yes, guys, this is the main entrance, and this was the same photo Tom has put up before he went dark here. This door leads out to the office hallways, the same one where we used the opening ventilation. Unfortunately, we're not supposed to go this way, honestly. We'll come back later. So anyway, that door over there leads to the elevator halls, but we can't go there yet. Now this is an anode, which are used to help boost up the power of the darts. It increases the potency for it. Since I have a dart on me, there we go. We got ourselves a dart. But before I do use these darts, before I do make a poison dart, though, which we are gonna maybe make one later. There is only one specific dinosaur that cannot die from a poison dart, though, which we will get to that. Anyway, use the entrance key. The entrance. And over here we have another med pack, which I'm gonna need to. No, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, hemostat and immediate med pack won't make a difference. Now, there are a few things over here. Shotgun rounds, which we're going to need that for my shotgun. There are two different type of ammos for the shotguns. Shotgun rounds and slag ones. Slag ones do more damage, but the shotgun ones only hurt them a little bit. Since I now have shotgun ammo, I'm actually going to put this dart up first before doing this. Anyway, over here is the code disc that opens up the elevator hall, but we still need the other portion of it. And then there's a dead researcher right here who drops an anode right here. But the thing is, though, I don't have any darts on me. The thing is, though, I can't upgrade these darts further. And this right here is the files of the personnel changes. But this is only one page, though, because it only contains one person in particular. Mark Doyle with this code registration. Just gotta remember this, you guys, because there's only 2 researchers here that will help us get access into the elevator. But you gotta remember this code from Mark Doyle if you ever get an ID card, though, which we're gonna need that later. These doors right here lead to the heliport, but it's locked. Until then, we'll have to come back later. Now I'm going to head up the stairs over here. That will lead us to the 2nd floor where the chief's office is. Which, that's where we got to go to. Another anode. Which, now that I have 2 of these, I can be able to make I can make some of these darts right here. I would not recommend using these darts right here, the one with the small on them. That will not help me. But they are still... Actually, No, I'm not gonna bother combining them yet. But there you can get a better view from up here, though. But it's kind of a waste of time to look through here. Anyway, we're gonna encounter 2 raptors in this room, one in this room and one in the other lounge. And as you see, there's one of the raptors sleeping. I'm only gonna shoot him with the pistol. Yeah, this is why the small darts are useless, because it only takes time for them to fall asleep. I want to save my rounds. Alright, this raptor is dead. We're gonna get more shotgun rounds over here. I'm almost out of pistol ammo, but I better want to make them last. I only got one more raptor in this area to deal with before moving on to the next area. The lounge. Anyway, that puts that raptor to sleep. I'm gonna use up what's left of the rounds of this pistol. And there goes all my rounds. And that puts that raptor out of misery. Now I'm gonna get myself another med pack over here. Since I have 2 of these med packs, I might as well just combine them and make a large med pack. So that way I don't have to waste up, well, you know. No, I'm not gonna do that. First things first, sort my items, because I'm almost gonna run out of room eventually. There's another resuscitation kit over here. Now'll be a good time to finally combine these to make a poison dart, which we are gonna need the poison darts, because this thing will help kill an enemy with 1 shot. But I'm not gonna use those yet because I am gonna need them for later. Over here, there's a couple of things. A safe over here, which we don't have the codes, but I do have on my phone, but I want to spoil it. And then this manual right here, which shows the details of the products around this place. Recovery aids and aids, intensifier and multipliers. Recovery aids are used to mix with medical packs, and aids are only used to mix with darts. Intensifier increases the potency for any specific item, and multiplier multiplies the items doubles the amount. Very good. These are actually going to be helpful during the fights against the dinosaurs, believe me. You'll see. Right, one more thing to do before doing this, though. It's kind of easy to get distracted what the code will be to get the a key card from the chief's office, which I'm gonna need that later. So let's see. Okay, there's the codes. Okay. So right now I'm not gonna bother with that safe yet, but I'll come back for it later. But right now we need to go over here. Now this way leads out to the passageway to the communications room. As though that door over there is locked, which I'm heading over there. Yeah, that's the door that leads in the communications room, but we don't have access yet. We'll come back to that later. Now in this room, this is where we get the antenna activated in here, but we don't have the starter key for it. There's the slot for the antenna activation key. And right here is a memo from the antenna operator's engineer. Okay, so if you guys could see, the code for that safe in the lounge is actually 8159. So we're going to head over back to the lounge and see what's inside that safe. And then after that, we're going to head our way into the Chief's room. Okay. And right here, you guys, are some handgun slides, which are used to remodel my handgun. Now with this, the 40 S&W bullets are now usable on this gun now. We can now use them, but unfortunately we don't have that yet. We'll get to that. Alright, now this door leads into the Chief's office, which we need to get in there. But I do have the code to what it is. The code for this door is head. Now we can enter this room, and then I'm going to unplug the mic because we got a cutscene for this one.
Survivor.
Are you from the rescue team?
Yes, I am. Do you know where I can find Dr. Kirk?
Kirk? That fool. What's he plotting now?
What are you talking about?
Here. Take this.
What's this for?
I don't know. Told me extremely vital.
Jesus, poor bastard. Anyway, he gave us a panel key, which we're gonna need to open up that that console over there where my character was looking at. Right here, we got some more shotgun rounds, which we are gonna need them. And then there's a DDK input disc right here that we need to open up the elevator hall downstairs. And then this right here is how we're going to open up the slot thing to get the laboratory card that we need to access Dr. Kirk's personal lab. So first things first, panel 1 goes right here. Let's see if I'm not doing it wrong. Okay, I'm not doing it wrong. Okay. So anyway, this right here has a numeric code. So the code from those letters you see on the panel key were actually upside down, but the code, I have the code memorized. The code is 705037, which we're going to type that in. And that right there is what we need to get to the laboratory area later. Now, to leave. Uh-oh.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about this, guys, because this thing will kill you instantly if it grabs you, so don't let it grab you. Yeah, just wait for him to open his mouth and then shoot him quickly. But there's another way. You can exit the room quickly if he doesn't grab you. And anyway, that's not the last we'll see of the T-Rex, you guys, because we will be encountering that thing later. But right now, I think it's time we get going. Some time, man. Give me some time. Alright, so anyway, now that we have 2 of these code discs, it's time to open up the elevator to the, well, the door to the elevator hall.
I've unlocked the shutters near the entrance. One more thing. I just caught a glimpse of something on the monitor that looked human. It should be somewhere near the front of the training room. So, check there first.
Okay, so we got a new objective to head to the, now we got a new objective to head to the training room. But this is the only door that can lead us to the training room. And then the shutter over by the toilets and the, strategy room. The shutters for it, Rick now has the access codes to finally disable the shutters. But anyway, we're going to work on this door right here. And the code for this door is actually newcomer right here, which I'm going to type it down for you, if you guys don't know about this. But I'm just helping you guys. Now we have access. Now there's a few things over here, and as you guys can see, there's the red emergency box, which now we're gonna have to use it though and see what we can get. Let's see, poison dart, check. Shotgun rounds, check. Handgun rounds, check. And an intensifier. I can't do the intensifier yet, but I'll come back for that later. Oh, actually, on second thought, I kind of forgot I have the small darts. Alright, I made some 3M darts. Let's see, can I combine the hemostat with the dart? Yeah, but things though, like I said, I'm not gonna need the hemostat because these medpack large ones can not only heal my vitality fully, but it will cover the bleeding. Okay, so let's see, sort my items so I don't run out of room eventually. Let's see what's over here. Another dead researcher right here. And the map of both first and second floor right here. And there's 2 elevators, but one is broken, which is this one. And this one is fully operational, but you need an ID card for that elevator, but we don't have it yet. Push this to get another hemostat. Now we're going to unlock this door and head to the lecture room hallway. Medpack medium over here. Actually, no, I don't want to combine those. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can enter the office door on the left and kill the raptor, or you can trigger the music effect and face two raptors in this room, which I have a better way to do this. Yeah, there's two raptors in here now. So we better be ready for them. Yeah, that's the best way to stun a raptor. And then this, you have to be ready to attack them. I just wanted to make sure I conserve my ammo. Okay, one is dead, but the other one's not. But I can finish him off. Now he's dead. Well, actually, no. What am I thinking about saying he? All raptors in this game are female. Anyway, heading into this office right here. This contains about the information what happened during this the test right here. Alright, another thing we need to do, this leads out to the elevator office hallways, so we gotta unlock that. And another thing, on this here wall, you see a memo. It contains another researcher named Paul Baker, patron number 1123. And there's his registration number, 58104, which we are going to be going to do him first. And then Mark Doyle another day. Another time. I can just page him. Alright, so just pull it on hold. Now right over here is the computer we're going to need, though, for registration. Unfortunately, this computer is useless without an ID card, so let's just get moving. We just need to get to the training room first. I'm going the wrong way. Where am I going? So yeah, those things, these buttons right here, that release the exhaust vents up there, which should stun the dinosaurs. Very helpful. Now over here, there's another dead researcher, but it contains a plug. And then a multiplier right here, which this helps multiplies the items. But I rather not. Well, actually, thinking about multiplying multiplying more of these darts though. So I can do this. There we go. Yeah, sure. Let's make more poison darts, shall we? And And right here, this is the training area. And over here is the B1 backup generator key. And we got one of our first danger events in this game. I tried to break free of that. Okay, for some reason I try hitting many buttons to avoid that.
Gale, you're still alive. Good timing.
What is it? Another lizard?
That's no lizard. It's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur?
Look, something's really wrong with this place. This whole mission has gone sour.
Hey, it's always eat or be eaten out in the battlefield. No matter who or what you're up against. Any word on the dock yet? I've got to hook up with Rick again. My radio's dead and he's the only one who can fix it.
Unfortunately, I failed to do the danger event because I couldn't even avoid letting that thing weaken me. So I gotta do this to get my health back to full. Now we're gonna go and see Gale and Rick in the control room. But there's one quick way to get there. The vents up here through between the lecture room hallway and the management office hallway. Well, actually, it leads here to the toilets, though. And of course there's a raptor over here. Out of ammo again. Well, I'm not surprised. Yeah, if you don't kill this raptor, he might break his way into the management office and into the control room hall, if you don't kill him.
So how goes the search for the doc?
Nothing yet. I didn't find any sign of him on this level.
That leaves the underground area then. It's the only place left.
But there's no power down there, right?
Not yet.
That'll be your job, Regina. Restore the power to the underground area.
Rick's fixing Gale's communicator, and as for Gale, he's checking something on the monitors. Okay, now that we talked things out, I'm gonna head back to the management office and save there, and then we're gonna kick this off another day. Alright, that's it for now, you guys. I think tomorrow I will continue where I left off on Dino Crisis, so stay tuned, you guys. I have to make a playlist for all the episodes between the endings. There's only 4 of them, but thanks though, you'll see eventually how it's done. So take care, you guys. I'll see you guys next time on our next Dino Crisis episode. If you want to see more, ring the bell on my live stream. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.